Greetings everyone, this is Mike Wright, the Astro Sherpa, dropping in with a spatial report. Whoa, grab your calculator because we're going to be talking about a lot of numbers. Big numbers too. So this is an exciting gateway I'm going to show you. So tune in, tune up. Look what time it is, 1:11. Jupiter's at 11:11. Mercury and Mars have conjuncted at 11 degrees in opposition to Jupiter. And this moon's getting ready to pop Jupiter right on the center of midheaven. This is the peak of the ecliptic arc. So we are receiving full power. But guess what? 11 is a gateway, can be a pit. So if you're stuck in the lower frequency world and you're crystallizing through fear, anxiety, worry, guess what? This is about Sodom and Gomorrah. You cannot look back or you will be crystallized. So I'm going to show you a little hidden secret about number 11. Okay, we're going to reveal a lot to you, so I hope you're ready. This is to get you out of the pit of despair and darkness and elevate yourself above all this dark projection, trying to bring this old world to a close so we can all pop into the new world. And the new world is for you to understand energy, time, space itself, the earth, our whole universe, the universe in the galaxy beyond. Hollywood has woven all these storylines, timelines deeply into movies, TV series. So, superhumans, comic books, this is all the illusion created right here. Neptune is the illusionary story of spiritual power, spiritual stories, the things we can't see, we imagine. We see the regular person, then they go into the phone booth and change their persona, and they come out ready to fight the dark, ready to take on the criminal element, the corruption, those who've taken over the cities and are burning down art, melting it down. They're afraid of the past. So instead of learning and growing so we don't all have to repeat all this, this is a time for you to understand the makeup of this world we are in. And if you understand this big picture, we're in this one big circle. So this was envisioned as these fixed stars divided into these degrees. So these aren't perfect. Time changes, space changes as we view it. So somebody might say, well, the moon is actually in the sidereal system, which means star measurement. The moon and Jupiter is actually in the constellation of Aries. And we're going to show you this. Let's go look right now. So this is so amazing to see. Jupiter, moon conjunction, right there in the middle of Taurus. Right there with Uranus. This is big energy hitting our central nature. But it's opposing the Sun, Mercury, and Mars down here. And what's fascinating about Mercury is its friends, children, your friend group. So there was a famous friend, Mars, just died. He drowned. Water, Scorpio. Yeah, Matthew Perry just passed away by drowning in a hot tub. So that's Mercury, Mars going to the pit. The opposition. So drowning in his sorrows, the poor fellow, they're reporting he battled alcoholism, which is simply the addiction to sugar and power. Alcohol is the spirit of a grain or a grape or something, and it's literally rocket fuel. So we've talked about how we get addicted to those energies. Neptune is, learning to transmute water to these higher states instead of getting lost in the Scorpio transformation. So let's get out here and show you this incredible once in a lifetime. I mean, the universe is just showing us the most wild sights out here. You can see why the ancient people literally made up all these stories and figures and faces. So Jupiter is right there coming out where that green flashing light is. Let's back up here. Get rid of that reflection. So this is extraordinary. You are looking at peak power. So this is also, like I said, the pit opening up. So the darkness is sending out the full armies. So you have to know yourself and fight these dark thoughts, dark vibrations that drag you down, keep you trapped in your old wounds, your old patterns. You're here to wake up your consciousness and understand how and why you were programmed to do all those things. So objective time is, there you go, you're listening to it. So, yep. So this is, the pit's open, like I said. Objective time is the linear measurement. And this is what the ego desires. Because our ego, even in this spiritual awakening, still wants to control your perception of reality. So the right brain gives us access to the rational ratio world, the plasmic world, the swirling nature. Look at all these clouds, that's moisture. So the pattern of these clouds gave old timers messages, meanings, prophecies. To be prophetic means you're simply looking at the past patterns and correlating it to present events. And then you do it enough times, you see patterns repeat themselves over and over and over. So this power was protected by big structures in the past. So by controlling this information, they understood change. When war was going to break out, to be prepared. So this is a time we can let go of thousands of years of warfare. Literally. So 1111 is these two frequencies that can match up and join from opposite perspectives. Now you have 4. So that's 4 single ones. And the number 11 is sometimes associated to Virgo. I love, and I love something else, or I want to. So let's go back in here. I'm going to reveal some more secrets behind the number 11. So I hope you're ready. It's about time travel. So here's a little black cat crossing your path. So if If you believe in good luck or bad luck, there you go. So it is all about your past patterning. You know, the background we came from is tied to our identities. So we evolve out of patterns and identities through seeing the outer world. Okay? So we were looking at the moon and Jupiter right here, right there. This is extraordinary. So that's the peak of the arc. Over here, rising is the constellation of Leo. So this is gold, showers of gold right there. And deep down in the underworld, which is Pluto's realm, is all this hidden jewels, hidden elements, you know, oil, gas, gold, silver. You know, there's companies that mine the ocean floor for precious metals, where they shoot up out of these steam vents. If you look on Google Earth, you can actually see tracks on the ocean floor. It's wild. So let's talk about these numbers and time travel and prophecies. Guess who's coming into the purview? Are we at the end of the world? Well, we're gonna be at the end of one world. So just like these people, the 1500s is what we're experiencing, this massive upheaval right here in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn back in 2020 was when Saturn, Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, you know, all these energies were blasting the mountain here. Literally, you know, just huge explosions tearing down, seeking new power, new wealth, you know, through conglomerations, corporations, big structures. So these big structures have pretty much taken over and are eliminating the middleman, you know, middle America, equilibrium, the balance. So that's why we're seeing this extreme tension going left or right, you know, polarized, extreme feminism, extreme, you know, masculine, or switching identities. This is big transformation, and it's about how you connect the mind to the body. And that's through your emotional understanding and power. So if you're controlled by the moon, you know, you're a werewolf. Maybe you're controlled by, you know, you're a vampire. You don't have any fire. You're not allowed, you're cold, dark, and you suck other people's energy dry. So these were stories of, you know, what we visualized, these demons. You know, Halloween's coming. So this was the gateway where we're turning a corner where the sun loses light. So the sun keeps just sinking lower and lower and lower, and we have more and more darkness as the majority of our experience in the 24-hour period. So without light, we don't produce energy. So we have to use stored energy. And this is where Pluto, Mars in Scorpio, this is like hidden power, stored power, battery power, you know, just hidden things where we use water, you know, nuclear power. All this is going to be revolutionized. So let's talk about number 11 again. So 1111, go up here and let's show you a little secret. What are all these? Blah, 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 blah. Prime numbers. So this is how we correlate time-space to the circle you were looking at. How Nostradamus, however you want to pronounce his name, they took these prime numbers in this circle, in these constellations, knowing that if it's in Pisces, it's a water sign. Water changes states. So you're going to see a lot of floods, a lot of just damaging water events, extreme weather events. They correlated this. So people would say, wow, that's mystical or magical. So, but all they did was closely observed patterns. So numbers create patterns. So if we look at the number 11 right here, it's the 5th prime. Okay? So what's fascinating, if you take the preceding number and the following number, you divide that in half and then that in half and add those together, they create the number in the middle. So half of 10 is 5, half of 12 is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. You can do that with any number. Let's do 14. So 13, 6.5, and 7.5. 14. This is what, ancient people were like, wow, holy smokes, how is that possible? And then they see these prime numbers, which you do your research and you'll find out a lot of power with the understanding of primes. The actual cryptocurrency is based on a 20-digit prime. Good old Tesla had this wonderful chart. He tracked prime numbers. And guess what? It literally, if you do it out to a macro scale, it makes this spiraling pattern that looks like the sun. Fascinating. So numbers, music, this creates our feelings. Light creates the reflection of the environment we're in. So that moon we're looking at was eclipsed earlier, about 12 hours back, 5 degrees of Taurus here. So that was the ending, wrapping up this Scorpio and Taurus eclipse energy. But there will be residue, as anything. Once you create a vibrational frequency, that's going to be around for a long time till that energy is dispersed. So think about dropping a pebble in the lake. The ripple effects go out and they keep rippling out until that energetic wave meets an obstacle that absorbs it. So this is time for you to tune in to this feeling nature, your sensual nature. The way we related from the feminine and masculine has been radically changed. Radically. So in order to harmonize, which is Venus and Libra's job here, so Venus has been shopping here in Virgo. She's been rolling through all these earthly, benefits of tapping into the sensual nature and getting organized. Venus went through a huge retrograde through Leo, and this was the heart space, after she had merged in this new world, her turning point. So Venus started a new 8-year cycle, and this was the culmination. So she's going back into the underworld. So that's why she falls in Virgo, and then she gets exalted in Libra. That means her energetic field changes and picks up this new air energy where you literally absorb and synthesize how much you've changed from the spring all the way to the fall. So that's where we go into this transformation season, and then we come into the season of beliefs leading up to traditional holidays. So that's a big overview of what these circles, these lines, ones, zeros, literally everything you see here, all these numbers are just 0 to 9. Nothing else. They're just all combinations. So each number combination was given a power. If it's only divisible by 1 in itself, then that's a special power. Even numbers were reflections. So take 48. Half of that's 24. So it's always even to even. So odd numbers can make even. So odd numbers were held to be a higher power than even numbers. So that's why the fire principle was the upward triangle. The feminine integrative principle was the cup, the downward triangle. But by marrying the two, we get the symbol of Saturn. Hexagon, hexagram. These were tied to hidden occult images that scared people. So demonology and all these things were tied to these angles. Right here, we look at the measurement these planets make in angles and the light that hits the earth from those angles. Well, every angle of light has a shadow. So the shadows are what we would call the dark, the demons, the angles would be the angels, light. So good and bad is balancing yourself on the earth in between light and dark. Okay? So darkness has its purpose to destroy. Take it away. Literally recycle. Tear down is darkness. But most of us would say, well, recycling's beneficial, yes? And it is. So there is light in the darkness. That's why light always wins this battle, always. So that's why we get illuminated. And it's not about others are dark, others are light. It's not about that. We're all on a scale, Libra, up to here, Sagittarius with Jupiter, right here, 11:11. So this one mirroring the one, you have to decide who you really love, okay? And number one, that's who we fear the most. And you better fear number one because it's in everything. And you are part of number one. You are not number one because your form is compounded matter. So this is the understanding of all belief structures. And people argued over, like I said, was one made in the image of another? What was zero? All these things were big arguments. So this is a time for you to understand your belief structure, where you came from. A lot of people have a lot of dark, bad experiences with belief structures. But you're here to explore why and understand them. There's a lot of power in why those structures were built. But they're being torn down because something corrupted them. So for you to truly find your place in time and space and live the life you really want to live, you have to understand your frequency, where you came from, where you're going, where you are now. And it's all the same. It's just you're uncovering experiences. But if you're being controlled by others, you're being carried along by these effects, then that's where you get destroyed, taken away. So, this is a time to just tune in to yourself, work on your physical health, your emotional health, and your mental health. Mental health is where we use meditation, prayer, seeking divinity, looking for, the thing about what was crazy about, not crazy, but brilliant, after basically the time of Christ, when the Muslims came out, they were mathematical geniuses. They were creating just incredible mathematical understandings and drawing parallel universes where lines, they would draw these lines and cones and see these alternate universes created through math. So last thing, let's show you here. So as we go down our chart, if you look at time space, so say, 0, and then we're down here in, let's look at a close prime, 2017. Okay, so if you look at these years, 2001, 2002, these prime numbers affect our reality. So big changes happen during these prime number years. And then we see them happen in offshoots. So in 2017, that was a massive year. We had a huge solar eclipse. We had some crazy cigar-shaped device came into our understanding called, Oumuamua. So that thing was literally accelerated past out of our solar system. All our scientists were shocked. Guess what? That is, something extraordinary that awoken people to higher dimensions, higher other possibilities. So do your research on prime numbers and how they're tied to the circle, and you're going to get a better understanding of what you're in, where you are, and why you are. So forget about this outer destructive programming designed to steal your energy and tap into this superpower right now. Literally. Friends, these people, they stuck together and experienced the ups and downs of life. Heartbreak, tragedy. But they had many good times, and they entertained the whole world. So this is a time to mourn. This eclipse energy, Scorpio, Taurus, is death, transformation, loss. So we've lost a lot of people. But those of you who are here and tuned in, this is a brilliant time. We're growing in awareness, like jumping. You can jump timelines of understanding immensely. So anyway, I hope you guys didn't get too bashed up by this lunar eclipse, and be careful when you're out traveling, because people literally can't control their emotions right now, and they want to explode. They're being programmed to do it. So give yourself plenty of room. Keep your protections up, which is your awareness, your perception. Pull in this light and radiate it outwards. That's what participate means. Quit projecting ugly, dark patterns out on the world, and you will find yourself in a higher dimension. Any way you go, I hope you're well. Astro Sherpa out.